Your kids are spoiled because you made them spoiled. You've created Frankenstein yourself.
This is pure power play. This stops here now.
The nation's favourite no-nonsense nanny is back.
Do what you're supposed to do as a parent. Stop copping out.
A third of UK parents think they're doing a really bad job. I don't think it's that bad. I just think a lot of parents have stopped reaching out. They've stopped being honest about the mistakes that they're making.
My daughter is the way she is because of no help and support.
I'm just really tired.
Because everybody thinks everyone's doing a better job behind closed doors, and quite frankly, we've all got the same issues.
I just want a normal family life, that's all I want.
Really, what I'm saying is we need to start talking more. Put your hands up, honestly.
Jo Frost wants to lift the lid on Britain's parenting woes and get mums and dads to share what they know.
Please be yourself.
Yes.
In this series, she's investigating the big issues facing today's parents.
Do kids get enough exercise?
Which one do you like? That one. Why? Because it's the skinniest.
As well as tackling some of the most extreme problems she's ever seen.
You're going to end up with a child who could die before you do.
I don't like dogs.
Why not?
Because you changed you the horrible mother.
She's on a mission to make us all better parents, but has she taken on more than one woman can handle?
Sometimes your job's not easy.
This week, are we in danger of raising a generation of size zero obsessives?
Which one do you like?
The first one. In the other one, I'm a bit fat.
Jo helps a family torn apart by their son's uncontrollable behaviour
Get off, you idiot!
and has a wake-up call for a mum who can't stop feeding her son.
This picture is of your son. If you continue to do what you do now...
We surveyed mums and dads from across Britain about what they struggle with as parents, and an age-old problem emerged.
Players kicked, screamed, attacked people, pulled hair.
We were at a family meal and he decided to kick off big time and lie in the middle of the floor and shout and scream to the extent where we just started to step over him.
He was being really naughty, and I said that I was going to go off without him in the morning and take the other two children to school. And with that, he came downstairs screaming, shouting, banging, throwing things, and I got in the car and I started to drive off down the road and he was trying to get into the boot of the car.
Even the security guard had to come to try and move my daughter up from pulling this person's hair. And that was really, really, really hard and embarrassing as well. The whole of the fast food restaurant was like staring at us.
And I was driving off and he was screaming and shouting, and I was aware that maybe neighbours were watching. And I got halfway down the road and thought, no, Anne, you've handled this wrong. You shouldn't have done it like that, and I had to go back.
But what do you do if your child's behaviour is so bad you can't even take him out in public? The Coughlan's from London have a daily battle on their hands when it comes to their youngest son's violent and uncontrollable tantrums.
What, man? What?
7-year-old Regan has recently been diagnosed with ADHD,
I like boy!
attention deficit hyperactivity disorder.
I'm a qualified childminder, and sometimes it's so hard for me to get him to behave himself.
Stand up, you should have thought of that before you started this tantrum.
Slap mum in the face.
Hey, stop it!
Impulsive behaviour is a headline trait of ADHD.
Shut your mouth, you idiot!
It's often combined with a defiance of authority, and then it's every parent's nightmare.
Don't use your hands. Use that, come on.
He's stubborn. He's literally stubborn to the core.
What? Just saying I don't want
Go in there and calm down, because I'm fed up with the whinging.
Get out!
The majority of people still believe that ADHD is just a modern label for badly brought up kids.
Before we got diagnosed, I just thought maybe it's just us not being able to control him. Maybe it's down to parenting issues. But what they did say to me was it's a chemical imbalance, and I thought, actually, I can believe that.
The vast majority of cases of ADHD are offered medication as a first course of action.
I'd rather Regan wasn't on medication, and I'd rather deal with it
In a parenting way.
parenting way.
No. Hey, stop it!
For Cliff and Barbara, the pressure on the family is unbearable.
We don't get any break.
No. It's constantly on.
There's no let up.
We're constantly on edge.
We're just going round in a vicious circle, and we all need help as a family.
It's estimated that one child in every classroom has ADHD. I mean, that's quite shocking, really, isn't it? The problem is that parents really don't know how to handle it. They don't know what to do for the best. Cliff and Barbara's concern is that they don't know where the bad behaviour begins and the ADHD ends. So how do parents work alongside this medical condition without feeling that they're being a failure as a parent? Hello.
Hiya.
Hello.
I'm
Hi,
Cliff.
pleased to meet you, Cliff. Joe.
Pleased to meet you, Joe.
Hi.
This is Regan.
Hello.
Say hi, Joe. Yeah? Could you leave the telly off for a minute, yeah? Can we just wait for 5 minutes?
Yeah.
Joe's barely in the door before Regan starts up.
You go to your bedroom. Please don't.
I don't care.
Okay, then. Up to your bedroom.
I'll come downstairs.
Just calm down.
Actually, Regan, can I have a chat with you? Is that all right if we come up here and talk?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hey, what's happening? Why do you feel so angry?
Well, Mum, because I'm a stupid dog.
Talk to me, because I want to
My
listen.
dad's an idiot.
Look at me, because I want to hear what you've got. I want to hear what you've got to say.
But my dad's an idiot.
Why? Why is he an idiot?
Because he is.
What does he do that makes you so angry? Because maybe, you know what? Maybe I need to talk to him so that he can understand that.
He is like, and he says, "Oh, don't you stupid room."
So why am I
There
here?
comes. Oh, to help me be good.
Is that why you think I'm here?
Yes.
I'm here
Yes.
so that you know your mum and dad,
Yes.
so that they can get to understand you more.
I know that.
Kids with ADHD can be helped with medication, but alongside that, there are really simple parenting techniques that can make a huge difference when dealing with extreme behaviour.
Joe wants to know what parenting structures Cliff and Barbara currently have in place.
We let him decide what his reward would be. Like
So what's written down here? Like, what does Regan have to do?
Regan, please. You don't get this until you pick that up. Pick it up and put it back, please, Regan. Up to your bedroom. No, I've had enough, Regan.
Ow! Why do you have to step on my toe, for God's sake?
Didn't mean to step on your toe.
Yes,
Idiot. Stay in. You stay here. Till you calm down.
I'm coming down.
You're not.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
You stay here, Regan, unless you're going downstairs to pick that stuff up. You're not going to pick it up. You stay there. Mind your fingers.
It's not that I don't understand where you're at right now, because I tell you, it's the most challenging thing that parents have to deal with, okay? Having a child who's been diagnosed with ADHD.
Yeah.
All right? But objectively, when I look at the pair of you, you're like two balls in a china shop.
Yeah, yeah.
It's power and control, it's confrontation.
All the time.
It's confrontation.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's destroying your relationship with him.
Joe Frost is helping struggling mums and dads across Britain to tackle some of the biggest issues facing them today.
There's no doubt that lots of teenagers are worried about the way their body looks. The question is, how young are these girls when they start to feel that way?
Joe and Professor Terry Apter of Cambridge University are conducting an exercise to find out. They've invited a group of 6, 9 and 12-year-old girls, all with healthy body weights, to have their photos taken. The images will then be digitally altered to show 3 bodies getting thinner and thinner and 3 getting bigger and bigger. Joe will ask each girl which image they think is accurate and which one they'd most like to look like. First, she starts with the 12-year-olds.
Which photo do you like out of these 7?
That one at the top.
This is the one that you like the best?
Yeah.
Okay.
Shamilla decides she'd rather be not 1 but 2 images thinner on the scale.
That one.
You like that one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Victoria would also like to be 2 sizes thinner on the body image scale. Ella is a perfectly healthy size and weight.
Which one do you like out of all of those?
That one.
This one here?
Yeah.
Why?
Because it's the skinniest.
Now, which one is the real you?
That one.
Okay, why do you think that one?
Because it's the biggest.
Ella sees herself as being 2 image sizes bigger than she really is. And the picture she most wants to look like is the thinnest of all the options. Half of the 12-year-olds said they were unhappy with their body shape. The result may not be that surprising, but how will the 9-year-olds fare?
I like that one.
This one?
Yeah.
You like that one?
Yeah. That one. That one.
The 9-year-olds are no different to the older group. Over half prefer skinnier images of themselves. But how about the 6-year-olds? Could it be that even they think thinner is better?
Which one do you like?
The first one. In the other one, I'm a bit fat.
Which one?
The last one.
This one here?
Yeah.
You look a bit fat, you say? Okay, but you like this one, do you?
Yeah.
Cherish prefers the image that's 3 steps down from her actual size. The same goes for Saffron.
Which photo do you like of yourself here?
That one. The top up there.
You like this one of you?
Yeah.
And Hannah sees herself as bigger than she really is.
Which photo is the real photo of you? Which one?
That one.
This one here?
Yeah.
Okay, that's the real one.
Even with the 6-year-olds, the results remain the same. Half of them want to be skinnier. Some even said they wanted to look like the very thinnest image they were shown.
Half of them wanted to be thinner. Half. I mean, it just goes to show you, really, the impact and the influence that's being made on little girls as young as 6. What does that say about how we're influencing our young children's minds?
Joe gathers the 9-year-olds together to find out just how strong their views on body image really are.
Do you think the boys would find this girl really attractive?
No.
No? You don't? No, you're laughing, Adele. You're laughing. You don't think any boy would find her attractive?
No.
Right.
She's a bit
big. Chubby.
Maybe she's a bit a chubby boy. Maybe they'd fancy her.
So you think the only boy she would get would be a chubby boy? A slim boy wouldn't fancy her? Yeah. Do you think girls that are chubby, do you think they should wear makeup?
No.
No. Why is that?
Because some of them, well, nearly fatter girls, they don't look very nice with makeup on, so they should just stay as they are and don't worry about makeup because it might make them look a bit ugly.
I'm a bigger girl. Do you think I look ugly with makeup on? No. Do you think it suits my face as a bigger girl?
Yeah.
Why is that? I'm not a slim girl.
Because it depends what makeup you put on. The makeup you've got on really suits you.
And even the 6-year-olds have extreme views about bodies anything less than perfect.
What's about this photo?
They're like this big, and they need to be much more skinnier.
Right, they need to be skinnier. What does that mean if they're skinnier then to you? If they look skinnier,
Then it look nicer.
it looks nicer. Is skinnier better then?
Yes. Not like fat.
Do you think that this young girl here, do you think that she would be really popular? Do you think she? You don't think she'd be popular?
So at the age of just 6, many girls already believe that if they were thinner, they would be more popular or more attractive.
You know, you would expect that maybe with a 9-year-old or a 12-year-old, but 6-year-olds.
And when they looked at photos of children that were slightly larger, it was with disgust. Ew, look, ew. So, I mean, to be so disgusted at a photo of a child who is slightly overweight drums in that these young kids are really, in a very subtle way, being educated about what images are acceptable in society and what isn't. And if you're very, very thin, then that's the way to go.
Shut your mouth, you idiot!
Regan is a 7-year-old recently diagnosed with ADHD. His impulsive rages have him locked in a constant battle with his parents.
You've got to go to bed. It's time to go to bed.
Joe believes basic parenting techniques can help even extreme medical conditions like Regan's.
I wanted to show you the importance of thinking about your behaviour and the things that you can do that will stop Regan responding the way he does.
What's all that shouting?
Not talking!
Why not? That was... What did you do that to Mummy for?
OK, let's talk about your body language. You walked in ready for what?
Confrontation.
Yeah. How? How do we know that? What did you do?
Well, I went straight over to him.
Show me your swagger.
It's this, isn't it?
It's policeman swagger. Show me.
Yeah. Yeah.
You walked in with a swagger. It was like, you're up, you're ready, you're on guard, you're ready. It was like interrogation over the old desk. Over his bed, you see that? Let's keep going.
You stay in your bedroom now. Can you tidy it up, please? It was just tidy earlier.
Was that necessary? Is it necessary to say that?
Is it going to get the reaction you want?
It's winding him up. You're asking the impossible. If he's angry and you're telling him what to do, you're not going to get the response that you want.
Joe needs Cliff and Barbara to see things from Regan's perspective.
Get away! Get away!
Calm down.
Get away!
Listen. All right, calm down.
It was his space. He told you to leave him and you started to encroach in his space. You stepped into it. And I'll show you, look. Stand up, the pair of you. Yeah. You see that already?
Yeah.
Intimidating.
Yeah, I just want to done this bit.
You just want to go like this to me, don't you? So body language is key.
Yeah.
Because it will send a mixed message.
When he says get away, I can't believe that I'm then carrying on invading his space.
Diffuse. Don't control everything. And compromise. It's about working alongside what he has. So it's changing how you think.
Joe leaves them for the evening. But can Cliff and Barbara use what they've learned and put Regan to bed without a battle?
Come on,
Sleep down here.
No, you're sleeping down here.
Let's go upstairs. I've got all your Lego ready.
Oh.
Come on. Good boy.
And you've been really good.
Getting Regan to go to his room is a feat in itself, and getting him to stay there normally takes hours of fighting.
I'm going to come up in half an hour and see what it's like, yeah? See what you've built me. OK? Love you.
Dad? Such a question. Does it have 3 engines or what? Two.
Yeah. All right. Now stay in your bedroom, Reed, yeah?
I just have 1 question.
OK.
Not confronting Regan when he comes downstairs is a turning point for Cliff, and one that pays off.
That was an easy battle. I mean, I really thought when he come down that, oh, here we go, this is it, the last one. But he took to it and he went back up. Can you hear it? There's no noise. No noise at all.
Everyone finds different ways to parent, but when we asked mums and dads from across Britain what works for them, one tactic came up time and time again.
Chocolate eggs, chocolate crisps and strawberries.
Yes, I do feel guilty about it, but it would cheer them up, and seeing them cheered up would cheer me up, and they'd be happier, so it would make me happier.
I'd say that any parent that says they don't give their children treats to make them feel better is lying.
When my daughter's had like a bad day at school, I sometimes feel a bit guilty by giving her favourite fast food.
I do resort to cupboard love. To give my son when he's upset and down, chocolate, crisps, yes.
But what happens when simple treats become life-threatening? Meet the Dumbletons from Manchester, mum Joanne and 10-year-old son Josh. Josh weighs 68 kilos, almost twice the normal weight for a boy his age.
Well, I'd love to be able to eat some like fatty foods and not put on so much, because some people can eat it and just not put on anything.
Josh's size has made him a target for bullying at school.
I only have 1 or 2 friends.
When Joanne separated from Josh's dad, they moved to a new neighbourhood. It's been 4 years, but neither of them have made many friends in the area.
We're very, very close. Very, very close. We're almost like little soulmates, but I think that's understandable because we spend so much time together. We are everything to each other.
Since they moved here, Josh has gained over 3 stone.
I do use food quite a lot to sort of cheer him up, because I know he's happy if he's eating something nice and stuff, and if it makes him happy, then I'll give it to him, because I can't give him a friend to play with, I can't give him popularity, I can't give him sort of his confidence.
Josh's body mass index is only 4 points away from being morbidly obese.
It is sad, because I can't make it better for him. That's your job as a mum, to make it better and go away and make it happy, but we can't in this, we're just in a rut.
Childhood obesity has doubled in the last 10 years. I mean, you've got to ask yourself who's to blame for that. You know, the children are not putting the food in the cupboards, are they? Let's face it.
Hello.
Hello. Hello.
Just days ago, Josh turned 10 years old.
Did you enjoy your birthday?
Yeah.
What did you do?
Well, I went to my nanny's. We had a little buffet. Got my presents and came home.
And that was it, that's all we've been up to really, Jo. Like you say, we're quite a boring little lifestyle, I'm afraid,
Really?
that we lead, yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, I would love to just walk around the block, really, with Josh and have a chat. I was bullied at school, and that was awful for me. It made me feel really, really sad. How does it make you feel?
Well, it just makes me sad and lonely.
Yeah. Does it make it difficult to play at playtime?
Well, I just stick to my one friend.
With no friends to play out with at home, Josh is stuck indoors with mum.
Do you want to do more stuff where you're more active?
Yeah. We just don't find the time to do it, even though we have loads of spare time.
So why do you think that is? You've got loads of spare time, but you don't find the time to do it.
Well, every time that we want to do it, something pops up, like going to my nanny's or something, so we can't do it.
Do you think Mum needs a little bit of help trying to find things and get going?
Yeah. Because every time we want to go to the park, she says, I can't be bothered, just let me finish this game, then there's another game.
So you're stuck in the house then?
Well, she's on the computer and I'm just watching telly.
Right. We'll have to change that, won't we? I feel his frustration. How is this mum staring at her son every day and it not pricking her conscience about the way she's raising her child? She's feeding her son to death. And this woman has got to start looking at being accountable as a parent. Joanne?
Oh, no.
When you look at Josh, what do you feel?
Oh, love, but also how I'm failing him big time.
Why?
Because he's big. And like you say, I know that's nobody's fault but my own. I do know that. But I keep doing it.
Why?
Because it's easy.
What's easy?
Because to keep him happy, but I'm sure...
To keep him happy, how? How are you keeping him happy when you feed him?
Because he enjoys it.
You're going to end up with a child who could die before you do.
I know. I know I go to bed every night thinking that. I do every night. And I get up every day and do the same.
People have started to realise over the years that it's not about neglecting in not feeding enough, but also feeding too much.
Too much.
It is neglect.
It is. That's awful.
If you love him, then do what you're supposed to do as a parent. Yeah, stop copping out. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Oh, I totally understand what you're saying, Joe. I really, really do.
This picture is of your son. If you continue to do what you do now in the next 10 years, this person here, 10 years older, has the same BMI as Josh now. This is Josh in 20 years.
Oh, dear. Oh, dear. That's awful.
What you going to do about it?
Change everything. Absolutely everything. Because that just can't happen.
Oh, sometimes your job's not easy. Sometimes you feel, but... This mum needs to see. I just, you know, I look at Josh and I just feel, who's he got? He's got nobody in his corner. He's got nobody there to hear him, to see, you know, to hear how he feels. What chance does he have if he doesn't have the people who he loves around him to take care of him?
Jo Frost is tackling some of the most difficult issues facing Britain's parents.
Morning, Joe.
She's back with the Coughlin family, where daily battles with Regan's ADHD have put a strain on everyone.
Here, come and sit with me over here. Okay.
They've made a breakthrough getting Regan to bed, but there is still a long way to go in managing his behaviour.
Regan, you got any biscuits for breakfast, please?
Can you stop him?
Come.
No!
You're not having them, darling. Have some toast.
Yes, no!
Have some toast.
What's up, love?
Shut up!
Regan, what's up?
Shut up!
What's happened?
Shut up!
Do not speak to me like that.
I can speak to you if you want.
Well, then I won't speak to you anymore then, unless you're kind.
No, Regan, you're not having that.
You're coming out.
No!
Cliff, come down, please.
It's a chance to see if Cliff and Barbara can do what Jo taught them. Resist confrontation and stay calm.
Count with me. 1, 2,
2,
3,
3,
4,
4,
16.
16.
I'm the mature one.
I'm the mature one.
20.
20.
Okay, follow me, Cliff.
Be quiet.
Regan, if you're not going to behave yourself, you're going to have to leave this room. You're going to have to leave. You're going to have to leave.
Shut up.
You make your decision. You stay in the garden or you leave the kitchen. But whilst you're behaving like that, you cannot be around us. You've got 5 seconds to make up your mind. Otherwise, I'm closing this door. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
It's all right, leave
He's
it.
doing
leave
what
it,
he's
it's all
doing.
right. Go on.
Idiot.
Right, you have to leave, please. You have to leave because of your behaviour. Out there or out in the garden.
No.
You have to leave the kitchen because you kicked.
No! No! No!
No, because of how you're behaving. I've already told you.
Get off, you idiot!
I've already told you.
No!
Calm down before you're in our company.
No.
I'm not going to have you being destructive because I know that you're capable of behaving yourself. Excuse me, please.
When he behaves a certain way, I want you to be able to say to him, stop doing that, okay? Otherwise you'll have to leave the kitchen. And if he doesn't, then you give him 5. Now, giving him 5 gives him an option to change it or not. Then you remove him and you close the door and you do that for like 5-10 seconds and you just open it. That way, he's learning to realise there is certain behaviour that you'll tolerate and certain behaviour that you won't. Okay, and that is achievable.
And within no time, Baba's cool is tested.
If he's going to be destructive, then he has to leave.
Regan, I don't like the behaviour. And if you're going to carry on, I'm going to ask you to go.
Shut up.
I'm going to count to 5. You either stay here and behave,
Shut up.
or you're going to have to go back out.
Shut up.
1,
Shut.
2,
Shut your mouth, you idiot.
3, 4,
Shut up.
5. Right.
Ah! Get off, you blimmin' idiot!
Go on. Close it. Breathe. Breathe. Okay, now open the door. Okay, come and sit back down.
She's made me realise that, you know, we're all on the same side, and I just feel like things don't have to be a battle. It's not a win-lose situation with Regan. It can be a win-win for all of us.
Joe's successfully shown Cliff and Barbara how to respond to Regan's tantrums, but now wants to go one step further and get them to understand how best to communicate with him.
This is the listening game. You've got to work together.
Yes!
You have to hold hands throughout the entire game. All right?
Hang on!
A defining trait of ADHD is a short attention span.
OK, Regan, you need to listen now. You need to turn around and face the trees.
Keeping instructions short and sweet will hold Regan's interest.
Find the string with the red dot on.
You will now turn around and face the tree to your left. Go to that tree, hopping.
Take 7 gigantic steps.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
When you get to Daddy, you can have the final clue you to keep.
Talkie.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You did good, the pair of you.
You've done really well.
Serious.
Boss code.
Regan, listening skills, well done.
Joe's given the Coughlin family plenty to work on, but wants to leave them with one final goal.
You are
cordially invited
for a high tea dress smart.
Okay.
Cliff and Barbara never take the whole family out because of Regan's unmanageable behaviour. Joe wants that to change.
It's very wonderful to go for high tea. You have to sit down all proper and you have to be very, very well behaved.
And be very posh.
You have to be very well behaved.
Is that it?
Bye.
Thanks, Joe.
Thanks, Joe.
You're welcome.
Thank you,
Yeah.
thanks.
See you
Bye.
later.
See you later, darling.
Bye.
Bye-bye. I'll see you soon.
Bye.
Joe's headed back to Manchester for her second day with Josh and Joanne. Josh is twice the weight he should be for his age. To get him healthy again, the first thing Joanne has to do is stop making excuses. Josh has been waiting for his mum to get his bike repaired for months.
Do you know what we're going to put on here? Bike riding, because you're getting your bike fixed.
But I've always been a bit sort of, like you say, I've asked your dad to come and sort of look at your bike and stuff, and that's why it's still sat there, because I don't really know what I'm...
Take it down to the repair shop.
I've got to find a repair shop.
Just knock on the door. And ask. Go on, knock on the door.
What now?
There's a bike on that lawn. Knock on that door and ask.
Oh, no, it's a joke.
Go on, go for it.
Why?
Hello, love. Hi there. I'm sorry to be a pain in the mouth. I've just lived down the road, and what I'm after, a bicycle repair shop.
Fred Gold's in Holly Edge.
Holly Edge.
You're a star. Brilliant. Thank you, sweetheart.
But getting Josh's bike fixed is only the beginning. For Josh to get healthy, he'll need his mother's guidance and support, something Joe feels has been lacking.
I think it's incredibly important that the pair of you climb this wall together and give each other encouragement to get to the top, OK? Because when I'm gone, that's exactly what the pair of you are going to be doing when you're achieving this healthier lifestyle.
You ready?
I'm ready when you are, kid.
Joanne will need to take responsibility for getting Josh active.
I've got you, Josh.
All right, good boy.
Perfectly safe. He's looking for you to show him, OK, what you can do, all right? Because he's got to see that you're motivated, all right? There's just a little bit of encouragement just to push him a little bit further, and that's got to come from you. You're doing really well. Well done, Josh. Steady your breath if you get a bit scared. That's it. Well done. Come on, Josh, you're nearly there. Fantastic. Yes! Brilliant. Well done, Josh. Oh, you're proud. So that was really good doing that together, and to see him push himself that little bit more was just fantastic. Fantastic. Brilliant.
Joanne will need to keep pushing Josh every day if he's going to get healthier. Joe wants to leave them with a realistic fitness goal.
So this is what I'm going to ask you to do. Tomorrow, get a tape measure, do arms, tummy and legs.
Right.
OK? And then what you're going to do every 2 weeks
is go over and do it
That's
again.
all you're going to do.
Right, fantastic.
OK? We're looking at really decreasing the BMI because that's what we're talking about when it comes to health.
Yes.
It's been very intense for Joanne. There's no two ways about it. A lot to take in, a lot to digest, because you don't change a lifestyle from one that wasn't healthy to healthy without making mistakes, without coming off track.
But for the parents of many young girls, striking a balance between encouraging your daughter to be fit and healthy and fueling a potentially dangerous weight obsession is tough. Earlier in the programme, Joe set up a test to see how a group of healthy 6, 9 and 12-year-old girls viewed their bodies.
Which one do you like?
That one.
Why?
Because it's the skinniest.
Half of them wanted to be thinner. What does that say about how we're influencing our young children's minds and the images that they're seeing every day?
But what besides the media could be influencing these young minds? Joe suspects some mums might have the answer.
I said to Victoria, which photo do you really like? And she said this one.
Did she?
Yeah.
Why did she say that one?
And then I said to her, which one do you think's really you? And she said this one.
But she liked this one. Really? Why?
She liked this one.
Too skinny.
Because it was thinner.
That's worrying then.
Helen's daughter, Victoria, said she'd rather look 2 image sizes smaller than she really is.
How comfortable are you in your own skin?
Oh, that's another question. No.
Okay.
Hate it. Hate it.
What is it that you're unhappy with?
Just how I am. Legs. Fat legs.
Talk to me.
Thunder thighs, I would say.
Thunder thighs.
Yes.
Everything's very
to
over.
Me, that's how I see. That's how I see it.
How many of these young girls hear negative words like this at home every day?
Mum complains about her because she thinks she's too fat and stuff.
What part of her body does she complain about?
Her belly.
Her belly? Okay, what about you?
My mum is constantly complaining about her bum.
About her bum? What does she say about her bum?
She says it's too big.
She says her bum's too big.
When she looks in a picture in a bikini,
Yeah.
she says, oh, look at my tummy, I look fat there.
When mums are criticising their own bodies, Joe wants them to think about who else might be listening.
We all look at ourselves in the mirror in a very healthy way and say, we definitely need to work on that a little bit more. Yeah, we're not really happy with that. But if we look at ourselves and the words we scream out in front of our little girls are not one that is of love but self-loathing, then they're going to pick that up very, very quickly.
Yes.
So how much do you think you have rubbed off on your daughter about body image, the way you've spoke about your own body around your daughter?
A lot, probably without realising it. Probably a lot has rubbed off on her.
Are parents doing enough to bring home a positive message about body image? Do they have to start looking at the language they're using? It's very easy to influence a young mind. You know, children are learning every day, and when you come across a fresh new area, it's like really painting a blank canvas. So be careful what you paint.
It's been 3 weeks since Joe met Josh and his mum in Manchester. To get Josh healthy again, Joanne had to take charge of a complete change in lifestyle, including the strange new world of fresh food.
This has always intrigued me, this vegetable, butternut squash, because I've always looked at it and thought, I just like the shape of it, but what the heck do you do with it?
Joanne's rising to the challenge, but for Josh, it's changing the habits of a lifetime.
Maybe a biscuit pack.
Eyes closed, eyes closed.
Or maybe a biscuit pack for the whole of our
No,
week.
we're not having biscuits, no.
Oh.
Josh's bike's been repaired, and Joanne's encouraging him to get more active every day.
Go, go, go! What I've been surprised most about in the last couple of weeks is how much energy we've both got. Especially now we've got his bike fixed, he's just not been off it. He loves going on his bike.
But now it's week 3, and Joanne and Josh are realising that it won't always be easy.
It's been a tough week, it has this week. It's like our bodies rebelled and it's saying, eat junk food all the time. It's been tough. Me and Josh were out and about on one of our bus trips and we come home and the cravings, oh, it was dreadful. So we shared a portion of fish and chips between us and a couple of digestive biscuits and felt really, really naughty.
Joe wants to see how they're coping.
I hope that they've begun to really realise that this isn't something that you just do for 1 week, 3 weeks or 6 weeks. This is about changing a lifestyle, and that does take time.
This week, it's been tough.
It's your 3rd week now, isn't it? That's right, because your body is going, oh, are we going to go back to what we used to do?
Yeah, very much so. It's
like... Are we going to go back? You get the end of the 2nd week and you're like, I'm feeling a bit tired. And all of a sudden, the old behavioural wiring kicks in. It says, oh, we'll just have a little bit of a packet of crisps. That'll just kick you over.
So.
And that's when you've got to go, no.
That's right.
No.
When Joe first met the family, Joanne took Josh's measurements. After just 3 weeks of their new lifestyle, will they see any improvement?
Stand up, let's do your chest. See what I always did you with your arms out. I believe it makes a difference.
For a growing boy, losing inches will be a better measure of health than changes in weight.
40.
All right, so you've done an inch there, my love.
Oh! Podge. So 42.
Blimey, another inch.
Oh, dude!
You.
Lift up, boo. 22. 22.
It's 2 inches.
What, lost?
Yeah. 2 inches.
Wow.
Fabulous.
With inches lost, Josh is off to a brilliant start and well on his way to getting healthy again.
Just a kiss. Keep up everything. All right. Give me a hug, you. Give me a kiss. Keep up all your good work. I'll speak to you soon.
Thank you, Joe. Bye-bye, sweetheart. Take care.
Sometimes people need a good old kick up the backside. I had to be tough with her, but it worked. Yeah, I'm proud of them both. I just hope that they continue to stick with it.
2 weeks ago, Joe left Regan's family with the target of enjoying a meal out together. More than half of parents of children with ADHD avoid taking them out in public.
It becomes very stressful and anxious because you just don't know what he's going to do next and you just don't enjoy it. You don't relax.
Cliff and Barbara have been working hard to defuse Regan's tantrums and find new ways to direct his energy.
Read that bit there, what's that say?
In the past, they would try and make Regan stay at the table when he's finished.
You've got to go with the flow and just
Let him get on with it.
Let him get on with it. See, normally I'd have been down on him like a ton of bricks, but I'm thinking, hold on a minute. As Joe said, pick your battles. He's not doing any harm. He's being a boy, and you know, just let him let that choke collar off a bit.
Right, let's take a look.
Joe returns later to see how the family got on.
basically what I'm hearing is you gave them more rein. You actually just allowed them to have more space.
Yeah.
Now, that's a very big deal because when I first met you both, your expectations were unrealistic. And a lot of your unrealistic expectations were creating the confrontation.
Yeah.
That's a major leap forward in such a short space of time. So that's a really big improvement. Did you have fun?
Yeah.
Did you actually enjoy? So you enjoyed being out with the family?
Yeah.
Yeah? You enjoyed it as well?
Yeah.
Cliff and Barbara are learning to look at Regan's behaviour in a new light.
Now I've got something to go on, and I feel fantastic about that because I understand it more. Joe's given me an understanding of the condition, and I'm starting to enjoy him.
Bye, darling. Cliff.
Thanks, darling.
Well done, mate.
Thank you very,
really well done. A lot of hard work, and I know it hasn't been easy for you. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I really appreciate it.
You're more than welcome. Bye-bye. Take care. Bye, love. Family that I met 2 weeks ago that was so lost and so anxious and so, what do I do? And now feeling so much better in themselves. And, you know, that's what it's all about. That's what makes you love doing what you do.